Hey, hey.
Yes.
West Coast Wednesdays. Mo Mel here, Girl Chat Sports. We hope everyone's doing well. We know that the Aces game is still going on, but I feel like we have this in the bag. I believe we're up by 12 or 13 points with about a minute left. So we'll see how that runs. But thanks for joining. If you are joining, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Feel free to follow us on social media at Girl Chat Sports on all social media platforms, as well as, hey, if you got your Roku or your Fire Stick, hit up the Fuel Sports app. You can watch us live on those apps on your Roku and Fire Stick devices.
Yes.
So shout out to Fuel Sports Network. Yes, we appreciate you. We got a lot to talk about today. First of all, it's early voting. Get out and vote. Make a difference. Make a change. Early voting ends on the 7th. The primary elections are on Tuesday of the 11th. So if you got your ballot in the mail, just go throw it in an envelope slot somewhere and get it done. Get it done. Don't complain later, because we won't even get into politics today. So that's it. And happy Pride Month. We just got to give a big shout out because it is Pride Month. We love our LGBTQ plus, or is it LGBTQIA plus? I always get my letters wrong now, but we wish everyone a happy Pride Month. We're gonna have a couple Pride posts later on in the show, but first we want to get to our guest that's going to come on. Aces did win, it looks like, by 14 points. So shout out to the Aces.
Good.
Yes. We want to get on one of our friends out there, our guest today, Adrian Hernandez. Thank you for the show.
Thank you for having me on the West Coast Wednesday. How y'all doing? Thank you again so much.
Yeah, listen, we appreciate
Kendrick killed Drake.
I love it.
That's from the last time I was on StreamYard, but it still stands and it's factual.
Still relevant.
Oh, it is. Relevant. It totally is.
So there it is.
I'm in agreement with you.
Hey, that's what it is. That's what it
is.
We appreciate you real quick. Adrian, I know, you're big on the YouTube. We've got a huge subscribing following. You're all over. You've got like your hand in a lot of pots out there. So break it down for those that haven't listened to you or seen you, where they find you and what you do with your time out there.
All right. So someone bring out the notebook because it's going to be confusing. First and foremost, what pays the bills? I'm the producer of the Chet Buchanan Show on 98.5 KLUC every weekday morning from 6 to 10 a.m., which is why I go to sleep way too early like a grandpa, but I digress. Yes, on 98.5 KLUC. Also part of our sports station with Odyssey here in Las Vegas, the Bet Las Vegas, which is where I cover the Aces. And then I'm also, I guess I'll call myself a YouTuber because we go really, really hard when it comes to YouTube, specifically with professional wrestling. I love professional wrestling, a little bit of boxing because we are in Vegas, a little bit of MMA. I'll be going to my first UFC fight to cover it later this month.
Wow.
If it happens, I'm hearing Conor McGregor might not actually fight, but it's primarily professional wrestling there on YouTube, which is something I enjoy. And I also host the Unlikely podcast, Unlikely with Adrian Hernandez, which kind of has all my conversations all over the place. And then, of course, mainly why I'm here, I've been covering the Aces for 3 years. I'm a bandwagon Aces reporter because I've been covering championship years, and life's been pretty good, and I can't complain. But I think it's the resume off the top.
Well, you did it well, and you did it like within a minute. So congratulations for getting those cliff notes out for us. But yeah, you are over the place. And we've enjoyed talking with you whenever we see you at the games for the Aces. Here's the deal. Even at 3 years, you're not the first year, right? There's a lot of people out there that are just getting into this whole WNBA discussion, as we've seen on all the media channels, all the media platforms. And not that we need to add to it, but I feel like we should have a discussion and just like, this new age of the WNBA. What is it that, I can't even, there's so much going on. We've had, we can talk about the Stephen A. Monica McNutt thing that happened Monday. We can talk about Pat. I'm trying to say his last name right.
Pat McAfee. And
I know, but I always say Matt. I always say
McAfee
because I feel like it's McDonald's and no one should say McDonald's. They should say McDonald's. So there's been a lot of talk. We've had Cameron Brink speak up. We've had Angel Reese speak up. We've had a lot of people are bringing up CeCe and her role in the new fame to WNBA. What's kind of your take on this, the new, I guess, popularity of the WNBA? Because I know we've all been here. We don't.
Well, I do want to start with exactly what you just said, because at the beginning you were like, not that we need to add our 2 cents to all the nonsense, and I disagree. Like, this is why I'm so excited to be on this episode, because for once I can do what a lot of people need to do, is just shut up and listen and try to be a sponge. Because you guys have been here from the jump. You guys are females, you guys are women of color, like you have that perspective, and that's the perspective that's not getting highlighted enough, especially on the big platforms. And again, look, I'm blessed. I was aware of how great the Aces, how great the Aces were before they won the championships, and how they've continued it and are on their path for the three-peat. And it's always funny to me because, you know, to bring a wrestling analogy, you always have your superstar that's going to bring the eyeballs, but if it's good, there's something there that like makes it worthwhile, and that's what the Aces are. Like, y'all think a Caitlin Clark game in Indiana because it's sold out and maybe some celebrity will show up. It's like, no, the celebrities, like the Showtime Lakers, this is what the Aces are for the modern era. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing for Kobe to just pop up to all those home games when he used to, wrestling power. LeBron, Cheryl Swoops, Damian Lillard, Tyrone Lue, everyone from the basketball world. There's always celebrities because it's Las Vegas. We're like the unique city in this country where we're not as big as LA. We're not as big as New York, but people are going to pop out, and like the greatness is there. So it's crazy to me that there's like this need, and it's social media and everyone feels the need to like give their opinion on everything. Like, why are certain people like going so hard to be a part of this conversation other than engagement? And it's baloney. And like, yo, it's assault. What that elbow did was assault. And it's like, it's all of this is preposterous. And yo, you haven't watched, you don't know. You watch highlights on Twitter, maybe, and that's the gist of it. And now you're gonna talk and try to show your accolades, and like Stephen A. Smith, like not even. We've talked about the WNBA before. Like, bro, you've talked about it for 2 minutes. Like, this is not, you don't have to, like, you can be honest and you can shut up and you can learn, because that's what a lot of people need to do. That's what I need to do. Like the history of the game, the team, the rosters, everything going on. And not enough people are doing that. They just want to give their comment out to the world because they feel they need to.
Right.
Eloquently put.
Yes.
I know me and Mo had this discussion because after we both saw the Stephen A. and thing, and we got to give Monica her flowers in all that she's done, not only being a player herself, but being so well and highly regarded in both NBA and WNBA commentary analysis. But we talked about it, and it was more like, you know, you say that when she said you could have been doing this for 3 years, they only talked about WNBA when it came down to the championship. Maybe you'd hear a minute or two about what's happening in the championship game or who's in the championship game, but there was never season-long content in regards to WNBA, any of its players. Me and, you know, Mo, before the show started, talking about Asia. Like, how are we not all hearing about Asia right now? Asia just had like another double-double. She scored over 30 points tonight. She was the
30 and 11
conference player of the month. She's averaging over 20 points a game. She's consistently holding her own. And the thing of it is that kind of has me tight is we're so focused on the negative of this and not highlighting the positive of why this league is so exciting right now, because we've got beasts out there that are actually balling and no one's sticking to that story. But that's okay. Let her have her quiet 20 plus points. We're going to win this championship again. Don't be on the focus of her. That's fine. Get distracted, because all of this nonsense is a distraction, you know. And so you're not even talking about what we should be talking about, which is highlighting all the athletes on different teams and how they're scoring in the games and all that. How Connecticut Sun has not lost a game yet, and no one's talking about that. Let's talk about the undefeated team and break down who's going to beat them next. That should be the conversation. Listen. And we're not having those conversations when it comes to WNBA. And that's wrong.
It is wrong. But sometimes, like, even the popularity of the NBA, like, people just want to talk about storylines. Again, wrestling, drama, and like some of it's preposterous. Like, to me, even as like a fan, Stephen A. Smith says he's this huge Knicks fan, and like the Knicks are facing the Pacers, and he's front row, and ESPN has the camera like he's walking into the locker room with his fit. Like they give all this coverage, and for Stephen A. to come out and be like, Monica, I made you because you've been on my show 3 times. It's like, bro, not only has Monica lived there, you guys are sports media members, you guys work at the same company, so like you guys see each other. You know what I mean? Like there's no common decency for that. Like Monica McNutt's been covering the Knicks and now does the play-by-play for the Knicks on the radio. If you're such a big fan of your team and you don't even know what she's doing or try to downplay that, that's disgusting. That's nasty ass work.
He's highly disrespectful. He totally disrespected her on live TV, questioning her validity, doing all of those things that are triggering for women, and especially for Black women who are in a position to know what they're talking about and to have a male counterpart diminish everything that you're saying. She's played in the league, so why don't you just shut up and listen to women that actually played in this league, just like he doesn't shut up when NBA players are giving their takes because they've been in this league and they've experienced it, and they're the best ones that are going to know. They are the ones firsthand that are going to tell you how this works. You are always on the outside looking in as a journalist. Yes, you may cover it. Yes, you may be a fan. But for them to actually have played the game, you have to sometimes just be quiet and listen because the professors are talking. And he didn't do that.
There was a
and not only did he not do that, he didn't invite her to his podcast to have that further dialogue and give her the opportunity or give himself the opportunity to correct his behaviors. Instead, he went on his podcast and bashed her, being even more disrespectful when everybody else from Shannon to Bakari Sellers, all these people inviting her on their podcast for them to actively listen and show her the respect that she knows what she's talking about. Absolutely. So I'm kind of low-key done with him. I don't know. That's just crazy to me.
I mean, I think he just kind of puts his own foot in his mouth at times and just keeps on rolling.
No, he's just highly disrespectful. Like, and the thing of it is the level of arrogance of somebody. You do have a platform, and you should allow people to be in that space of your platform. And you knew about this WNBA when you have the power that she mentioned that you have with this network to highlight whatever content you want to highlight. You choose not to. Own it. Yeah. Just own it.
I do have a short, like a minute clip from Shannon's podcast when he did have Monica on. So we could all listen in onto what she is clarifying and stating on there.
I say that to say, Ocho and Shannon, I get that we are at a special place when it comes to women's basketball and the growth of the game and all of the eyeballs. I think what I was frustrated by in our conversation earlier is that we can hold more than one truth, y'all.
Yes.
Like, the idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists. But I think in Caitlin's debut, since she has made her debut, there's been a large and loud clamor or push, yes, that is Caitlin versus the W. Okay. And that is unfair. Okay. To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros? Right? Yeah. I just need us all to do a better job of holding room for multiple truth. Jordan as a rookie, Joe, right? LeBron as a rookie, like Wemby as a rookie. When you look at guys that have gone on to be great, I'm sure they would not say their rookie years were cakewalks. Now, in the case of LeBron, and if we use Wemby this year, they have physically dominant and powerful statures. And so maybe that has allowed them to skirt some of the curve. But Caitlin is the guard coming from college. She got to get her weight up. The W has to continue to allow her to be one of the leaders of this platform, as Angel Reese has also been, because I know that's going to be a hot topic tomorrow. And so my whole thing is just, it doesn't have to be either or. It can be both. But the prevailing idea that it's the W versus Caitlin and that these women don't understand the power of the eyeballs and the audience that she's helped grow the league to, that's just unfair. And that's what bothers me.
Right. Like, that's the thing. Like, that narrative that they're pushing is just insane to me.
Well, people think there's no gray. Like, like she said, like, you can have multiple truths. Like, this can be true. Like, Caitlin, yes, her bringing her fanage and the people that have followed Iowa and the college game and brought them in and helped sell out arenas or had some of these arenas being pushed into the male NBA arenas. I mean, yes, we get it, but the talent's been there before her. These are still professional women that are playing.
Right.
And we're seeing that, granted, she's still doing great. She's averaging like what, 16 points a game? Like,
I mean, and you brought up like she's such a great passer, and like her team isn't good enough for it. When the Fever came to town, we were sitting right next to each other. You brought it out 5 times. Oh, they're not ready for that. Her vision's just like Chelsea's. She sees stuff, but they don't see it. Therefore, that's why they're getting turnovers and stuff like that. And look, man, it's just the other thing too that I think plays a part of this is like Caitlin in this generation of this era, she's such a star that she has like the stan fans that she has is just like stan fans of whatever, your Taylor Swift or Drake or Kendrick or whatever, Star Wars, Marvel, like whatever, like there's that community and they're standing up for Caitlin, or just that's what these communities do. And also the racial component, whether it's because of coverage or the attention. And 2 things can be true. Yes, Caitlin is going to bring eyeballs, and the reason they're going to stay is because the Aces play beautiful basketball, and they're the Showtime Lakers. Like that's how this should work. And it's just the first time that we're dealing with some of these athletes that we've known about because they were TikTok stars before they were in high school, and then they played in college, like Juju and Paige, and whenever they get brought up. And like this is the new era. We're gonna start like that's gonna start happening with athletes from everywhere. Like we heard about LeBron or Bryce Harper, but we didn't see it like in our phones constantly. And
Right.
Caitlin's like one of the first products of that. It's a little bit overbearing, and because of the other dynamics, like yo, it's nasty work. It's nasty work. When I on YouTube, I take the press conferences, I bring my camera to the game, and I put them on YouTube, and you'll notice the difference when it's Asia, Jackie, and Becky going up there, or they'll send Kate Martin and Alicia Clark, and what will they say? Oh, Kate Martin talks. What are some of the phrases? You know, she's so
all the clickbait. It's all the
yes,
clickbait.
she's so classy, and the way that
Yeah.
she speaks, she's so eloquent. It's like, bro, what are you saying about everyone else that speaks? What are you really hinting at? And like all of that has such a huge presence. And it's freaking Iowa. She came from Iowa. They just got internet 15 years ago, bro. They ain't got nothing going on. They need
Right.
something. They bored. But
Yeah.
just how I
And
feel.
you know, it's funny because when the team tweeted their starting 5 today, because you know Jackie was possibly ill, they weren't sure if she was in play. They posted, I think, the active roster, and of course it had a Tiffany Hayes on there who we required this last week, which is amazing. And some guy, of course, first comment in there was, "If Tiffany takes time away from Kate, I'm gonna riot." Okay, well, first, you saying riot already gives many red flags. So, but that's, you know, these are I mean, it's a team sport. So I don't know. Did anyone else watch Tiffany play today? She came off that bench and had like 4 points in the first quarter. She's active. She retired what? There was no retired next to her name. That girl has speed. She's defensive. She had assists. I mean, it's just like not taking nothing from Kate, but we're all in for whoever is making the team better and continuing to contribute. We don't want to lose to the Dream again. That was terrible on Friday. Like, come on. So, oh boy.
And honestly, and not for nothing, Kate Martin's a rookie. So this is the rookie treatment. Rookies always will probably be pushed to the side for the veteran, that's just the seniority and position of any job coming into this, you know. Not for nothing, it does not take away from the game that she's had so far. I mean, she's been thoroughly amazing. And you know, this is what we need. We don't know the timetable of Chelsea Gray. It's very, very vague. No one is giving a definite of when she will return.
No timetable.
And if we need bench reserves to rest some of these girls as they go down the stretch, that's what we need to do, and that's what we need to make happen. That was one of the things we failed to do last season, was run and play minutes. These girls were playing long minutes with no type of rest, to the point where they were getting gassed when it meant go time. You know what I mean? By the grace of God, we made it. You know, but it's just. It's better to see these rotations happen. It's better to see us take some losses. I'm not going to diss the Dream. I don't want us going out undefeated like we did last season. I want us to kind of go back and forth and just have a steady pace, because that's what it's going to take to get to the finish line. Our record is going to make us go to the playoffs, irregardless of how many wins or losses we have. We're going to the playoffs. That's a given. Will we have the energy and stamina And the strategy to win this season is what we need to do. We need to focus on the teams that are undefeated and see if we can go toe to toe for them. So I don't mind how this season is looking right now, to put it in any context. They're at a good pace of what they're doing. They got a game Friday against the Storm. Let's go.
Yep.
I'm moving forward to the next
game
game
against the Storm.
Yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? So,
but like
I'm ready for it all.
Mo said next game up. Let's go.
Next game.
Like, and that's okay.
You got to play it one at a time.
Next game up, Seattle Storm. Let's go. Let's talk about what we gonna do for that.
Yeah, because Ezzy came last night for Seattle and had 20 plus points. I mean, between her, Gold Mamba out there had like what? I think her 50th 30-point game or something like that. Like it just, or 30. Her 50 double point game or double digits game, which is 50 in a row. That's insane. But yeah, Friday is going to be a test too. We'll be back at home, but this is a different Seattle Storm team. They're not the same team they were last year. There's been a lot of help out there that they've gotten this last year. And so I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm with you, Mo. I think the playoffs are not going to be a problem. I think it's, when does Chelsea come back? Are we getting Chelsea? Because as of right now, today, pregame Coach Hammond said that, right now she's on the court more. That's all she said.
Yeah, and I saw clips of her on Instagram where she's practicing and doing shoot-arounds and stuff, but it's still not 100%. So, again, the answers are very vague. So we need to just prepare for what we have right now and use the weapons that we got and make those necessary adjustments because this is where we're going. This is prime time. So, got to figure it out.
And Mo's completely right about that whole, like, we don't need to be worried about going undefeated or winning as many games.
Right.
This is about this team getting comfortable. And to me, obviously, we want Chelsea Gray on the court if you're an Aces fan. But they're learning, like they've learned to win in so many different ways. And this is just another test. And it's a blessing that Kate Martin can come in and it doesn't matter. Her performance won't change the outcome of the game necessarily because the Aces are so great. Or even tonight with Tiffany Hayes easing in, doing everything. The biggest thing for me was the 3 offensive rebounds. This team's the worst. The Aces are the worst offensive rebounding team in the league. So for her to come in and like do that stuff, and she contributed everywhere. Mel just said it, assists, rebounds, and like it's easier for them because this team's so good. And so once Chelsea gets in, like it's back to full gear. But even with this time, like I think it's helpful and not to overburn everybody because this is year 3 of them playing those long extended minutes, and eventually Father Time's going to get to them. I know they're all young, but you just want to save that as much as possible and leave as much gas left in the tank.
Right.
And that's the thing is we're not one of the youngest teams, that's for sure.
No,
but so we got to take these while we can. Let's get this 3-peat. You know what I mean?
Grab them before.
I honestly believe we can do it. I don't have any doubt or any suspicion in my mind that we can't do it. It's just a matter of us taking it one game at a time, and we just have to keep preparing for the next. Celebrate the wins temporarily, but we got a long road ahead of us. We really do. So.
Can we talk about just the fit that Kate Martin has with the Aces? I know people have seen stuff on social media. Today was her birthday. They pranked her and had the bus pull out from her before she was racing towards it. They also had there was, let me show you. There was a birthday. They got a whole birthday thing. They do a birthday spanking for all the girls. Here's a little. That's crazy. How many rookies do you see just that happy? Like, how wonderful the fit was that for Kate to be here? I mean, we see these other rookies, whether it be Angel or Camilla or even Caitlin, like, we can mention Caitlin getting that hard foul and no one on our team coming to help her up. Like the fact that you are on a team that cares for you. Becky mentioned today too on media is that she said that Asia's the one that goes and gets those cakes. She's the one that goes and gets these little tiaras for the girls. Like not only is she an amazing athlete, but she's an amazing human being. So talk about what your thoughts are on just that fit for Kate being here with the Las Vegas Aces too.
Well, look, the leadership First off, it starts from the top, and like that's your leader when it comes to that locker room. You know what I mean? And that flows down, and that's the expectation. And we saw, I think it was the first time that Kate got some minutes in the regular season where Kate didn't, she was in the corner, she had the space, she didn't take the shot. So right at the next whistle, Asia's like, yo, take that shot. If you have the ball in the court in the regular season, you shoot. This is what you're here for. Don't worry about it. And that's what happened. And some of the fouls where Kate's falling on the ground, like she's the first one helping her up. And look, the fit, she's a contender for 6th Woman of the Year. That's crazy. But I know it's early in the season. I know it's early in the season, but she's put that up, and it's a testament to this team. It's a testament to this culture that they can do that. They can hit on gems, obviously, because she was available, and Becky said like she didn't have the expectation. She comes from a good basketball school. It was the perfect fit. And she's learning under Alicia Clark. Like that's her vet, and just this whole team and this whole nucleus. And it provides more shooting, and more shooting usually means better things. And 6th Woman of the Year contender. She might be the favorite. I don't know.
I mean, it's great. Mo, any thoughts on just her fit with the Aces? And I think it was just a lucky draw. I mean, I think Becky knew what card she was playing. I feel like she had the ace in her pocket the entire draft, just knew that, no one was probably paying attention, just happened. But yeah, it's great, I think. Mo, sorry.
No. It was just an unexpected kind of draft. She didn't expect to be drafted, and what she did to go on this 2-time champion team and acclimate herself and fit in. And it takes the leader to bring you in. And I think that's the thing that Caitlin Clark is struggling with the Indiana team. Yes, Aaliyah Boston is that leader, has already tried to coach her up and not feel like diminished in her first game. But that's all we've seen. We haven't seen any other type of transparency with this team and helping her or supporting her. But it goes both ways. I've seen clips where Indiana Fever are trying to hype themselves up in the tunnel, and Caitlin Clark goes right past them in some kind of her own tunnel vision. So they've got to have that kind of rapport in order to have some success with that team. And with the Aces, it comes as a no-brainer. I think Sydney Colson was the one that kind of gave them the catalyst and the jump to do that. Asia Wilson, being the captain, the leader, is the one that has had the baton in her hands now and is comfortable in that position to help Kate Martin out and give her confidence. I mean, she's coming out there like she's played with us already, that she's not a rookie. Like she's playing like she's seasoned. And I think that has a lot to do with them pumping her up, encouraging her, and having seen that leadership not have an ego and not feel like they're better than the team. It's all one, and they've always been the all in. So they live by that mantra, right? So I'm not surprised. I'm really thoroughly not surprised. I'm loving that Becky is more implementing her. I wish she had done that last season with Kirsten Bell. I felt like she was a little defeated with not coming in and playing more minutes when Kirsten Bell herself has the possibilities of being an elite shooter when she did come out on the court. Now her game has kind of changed because, again, the playing time has to be there and your coach has to believe in you. But they are all in with this Kate Martin. So, and I'm going to go for the ride. She's one of my new favorite players on that team.
Let's go.
Ride the ride.
Money Martin is one of my favorite players now. Money Martin is money.
Listen, Money Martin is good. Any thoughts on our new pickup, Tiffany Hayes?
I mean, from what you described and what I saw in the game earlier today, she left no crumbs. I feel like you need a veteran, because, again, this is someone that has vast experience as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the veteran of coaching on the court or getting the team morale, but just veteran as far as different situations when it comes to fouling and the aggression on the court and the emotions and all of that, and how to control that and hold that in and maintain, keep some sort of composure so you don't get text, so you don't get into any types of situations. She's there definitely to help that. And like you said, Adrian, they struggle with rebounds. Let this girl show y'all how to rebound. Kia Stokes, don't be afraid to get in the low post and rebound the doggone ball. Don't be afraid to do all these things. This is what she's here for. Hopefully she shows these girls what time it is when it comes to that, because that is a big struggle for them.
And very similar to the Warriors, when the Warriors will just pick up Andre Iguodala or Sean Livingston or something like that. You know what I mean? Come and get a ring real quick before you retire. Unretire real quick. Spend 2 months in Vegas. It's gonna be a little hot. Stay hydrated and win yourself a ring. Fruits of the Aces labor to taste the success, to do that and just add that in. And again, easy implementation. This team is great. There's room, there's margin for error. And we'll make it work out when it matters. We'll get everything, settled. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I know people were, I think all of us were wondering what are they going for? Who are they going to pick up? Some were surprised by their guard. Of course, that just kind of,
yeah, Deja Fair. I mean, I was shocked that she got waived. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I was waiting to see her get hot, and it is one of those things.
Or even getting her more than a few minutes to try to get hot.
Well, she did her first game, and then she got cut the next morning.
And that was it.
Right.
The cold world.
After that Fever game with less than a minute left in the game, we were getting ready to go, and it was like all she was doing was defending. She never got a chance to have the ball in her hand or any of that. So it's like, wow. And then for her to be gone the next day.
It was tough.
It's business, and that's what we do.
It is what we do. Adrian, we could sit and chop it up forever. I know you've got a grandfather-like lifestyle to get to bedtime on to get to bed on time. We appreciate that, though. And we know you're busy, and you're a busy guy, obviously. Before we let you go, we'll just bring up the topic real quick of the WNBA finals. It's starting tomorrow.
The NBA finals.
NBA, didn't I? Sorry.
W.
I've been stuck on the W. That's why.
Right.
Adrian, the NBA finals coming up tomorrow. Thoughts on predictions?
Who you got?
I'm gonna keep it real simple. I go to therapy. I try to be emotionally intelligent. I try to be forgiving. I'm born and raised in Cleveland. That's why I got the C hat. So I just want to make this clear. Kyrie Irving, go win yourself another ring. I do not like Boston. I do not like the people of Boston. Unfortunately, at the end of the month, I have to go to Boston for the first time. I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Those people are rude. I don't want Al Horford. I don't want Al Horford winning a ring. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. I'm cool. I love Luka. He's so competitive. And I want Kyrie to win another ring, man.
25 years old.
It's crazy. He's, you know what I mean? Like, I want them to win. I want them to win.
And I want to see Kyrie get a ring without the LeBron narrative. I need him to.
Yeah. True. And that's fair. And also, I saw the Mavericks before media day today. They had like a shoot around, and they were playing all of Kendrick Lamar's disses to Drake. So I was like, oh, okay, it's money time. They already know what time it is. You know what I mean?
They sold it to you. They sold it to you.
Let's go. Mavs in 5.
Mavs in 5, right on. Adrian, we appreciate you. Where can everybody get out there and find you as far as to listen and check in on your work? YouTuber.
Absolutely. And thank you guys. Yes, and thank you guys so much for having me. I need to come back again.
Please.
If you guys will have me.
Always.
The door's always open. You just gotta knock her in the door.
Just let us
Easy
know.
money. I'll be back. But in between then, on Instagram, on TikTok, Heavyweight Radio, no weird spelling. You can search Unlikely with Adrian Hernandez wherever you get your podcast. That'll lead you to the YouTube too. Don't be shy. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. That'll be it. That's where you guys can find me and find all my other stuff in the Twitter and all that other nonsense. We're in like all these different apps. So Heavyweight Radio, TikTok, and Instagram. There you go.
Awesome.
All right, brother.
Thank you so much, Adrian.
Thank you so much for being on.
Or so. All right.
Of course. Y'all take care. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Adrian Hernandez.
So I love him. His videos on YouTube are just amazing. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but watching them, I was kind of like, yeah. So good stuff. We appreciate him. We appreciate all of our fam that's out there that cover the Aces as well as other sports. We love having everybody on. We've got other people that we need to get on still. We need to get on. I know Chris was in the building a minute ago. Chris, we need you on too. Chris Wynn out there in the building. Shout out to everybody that's joined the chat. Sorry, we were kind of big and doing some discussion on the league, but I see Donnell and CDL Golf Cigar and Golf was up in here.
What's
of course,
up?
Dre Bailey, Let the Ball Bounce.
What's
Kente,
up, Dre?
appreciate you. Heather, what's up? Thank you. So yeah, we've got more to talk about. If you did, miss the first half, feel free to stay on and get the replay or check us out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But yeah, so the Aces, big time. One thing, if you are an entrepreneur, or you're about to start something, just letting you know, Kelsey Plum, one of her endorsements, one of her sponsors was with LegalZoom. They're giving away $30 million. I believe there's like $10,000 grants and like about 50 different $3,000 or $5,000 grants for those that are new to entrepreneurship, a small business, something like that. So go to LegalZoom, check out Kelsey's profile. Those are pretty intense. I enjoy that. Very nice. Also, if you're heading to the Aces game on the 11th, I believe that's Tuesday. Yes,
I think so. Yeah,
Wednesday.
That's November 11th because that's a primary day. Yep, it's Tuesday. So
Tuesday. So Tuesday versus the Lynx. I don't know what it is with the Aces and always having this like not so summer gear, but they have an Aces by You where you can get customized. A designer-owned, made-to-order knitwear. So these are sweaters and cardigans that you can get made to order by Daryl Sneed. This will be at the Lynx game here at Michelob Ultra, outside of Section 124. So.
And when it's 105 degrees today, I just can't think of sweaters.
And 110 tomorrow. I just don't.
Yeah, I just can't think of sweaters at this moment. I just not
sweaters.
I can't think of that right now.
What about like a windbreakers at the least? I mean, maybe a windbreaker. I don't even want to buy a sweater ever.
Let alone a cardigan, but I go support. It seems like it's going to be a good look.
There's definitely going to be people support.
And for the people that are cold in Minnesota, hey, listen, you might have some people that live in Minnesota that are Aces fans. Get that cold weather gear now. I mean, they sell winter stuff in the summer, so it's not like it doesn't make sense logistically. It's just hard to think of it because we're in 110 and 105 weather.
We be forgetting about it. We were forgetting about it.
Yeah.
I know. Well, you guys know my love and affection towards dogs, and I was really thrilled to see this next little clip. I cut it out a little bit because it was very long, but Megan's dog, Pancake, has the Panny Cam, and the Panny Cam went wild, and Pancake, you gotta check him out for a little bit because he was showing off his stuff.
Ball is life. I'm fast AF, boy. Look at that speed. Just an agile athlete, if I do say so myself. These aren't my normal practice players, but you know what? They'll do. Look at this assist. Ruined my assist. After a quick hoop sesh, it was on to our photo shoot. Side note, my mom totally lied to me. She told me we were moving to a really cold place called Las Vegas, but let me tell you, it is not cool. It's actually very hot, and I know hot because I just came from Phoenix. She tricked me. She knew I was gonna read that and think deserves and not desert. How rude. And that's Kate. They call her Money Martin, but she hasn't given me any yet, so she's just Kate to me.
Oh, Pancake. Love it.
I need more Panny POV. I love it. It was. He's just a cutie. I mean, whenever you can incorporate sports and dogs, count me in for whatever it is.
Right.
That's just
especially when the Dodgers showed out for their pets on the at Dodger Stadium.
And I could, for some reason, I couldn't find that picture again, but they went ham. I never seen a section. I mean, I know for most bring your pet or dog to a pup day at the stadiums, they always have them in one section. So I know that's why it was so full, but it was like really full, like a plethora of fuzzy doggies everywhere, and they were all holding them up at the same time. That was really cute.
Well, LA be about them animals, so they're all about the dogs and the pets. They bring them everywhere, so this was light for them. But yeah, it was amazing to see and very cute.
It was really good. It was really good. So so Aces moving on to Friday here versus the Storm. You've got the Aviators here in Vegas. Our general manager, is officially the all-time wins in franchise history. This covers all 40 seasons, whether it been the Aviators, what did we have before? The 51s. Yeah. There was another team. So out of all the 40 seasons of the franchise of the Las Vegas baseball team, he is now the all-time winningest coach.
Nice.
They won last night. His 324 wins. He's the 25th manager in the history of the franchise. So that's a pretty cool accomplishment. So give it up to him. Yep. We also got our lights. The lights play on Saturday. It's going to be a hot one, but hey, I I'm sure Miami's going to be used to it, but it's just a different kind of heat. So they play Miami FC here at Cashman Field we still got to get out there. I'm just hoping it cools down one weekend just in case, just so we can be there. I want to see the new setup so bad. So if you do go to a Lights game, make sure you take some video, tag us, share it so we can share it on social media, because we really want to see the new setup they have there at Cashman. It looks really, really fantastic.
Right,
and then we also give a shout out to the Nighthawks. They actually lost at home this past weekend. So they broke their home streak of winning record. They're, I think, still second in their division, so that's good. But they are on the road for the next 2 weeks. They don't come back till the 22nd, and that's the game I'm going to. So excited to finally catch a Nighthawks game. But yeah, like you mentioned earlier, the Kinetic Sun 9-0. I mean, between Bonner, Thomas, what is it, Brianna Jones,
they got a squad.
I'm scared for us I don't even know when the Sun are on our schedule, but that game is going to be insane.
First of all, let's hope it's televised for one, so we can get even more viewership and see that. And hopefully it's.
Side note, on Fox 5 today, they didn't even have the audio for the first 2 minutes, but I digress.
Hopefully, and I'm sure it's one of the sellout games because it's just they're the Sun. And I hope to see a very high intensity competitive competition game, and I hope the refs are fair and favorable on our calls, or not favorable, or just not. I guess I should say not manipulating the outcomes of these games coming up. But I mean,
because as much as we are going for Asia and her dominance, you got to realize that, Alyssa did the same thing for the Eastern Conference. She got Player of the Month. She's been doing it. And then, of course, you got the Players of the Week are opposite. So the Eastern was Sabrina. But these are all players that are just
I mean, we got to be ready for it. And that's why I say, we got to take every game as one at a time. And
learning experiences.
We can see the test with the Seattle Storm. And like I said, with our new additions to the team and what we've got going on, they've just got to get ready because they're coming. And 9-0. I don't know what to say about that. But I do know what to say about that. Any team, sometimes teams that started with these winning streaks and undefeated don't make it to the big dance.
We see it a lot. We see it a lot in a lot of leagues.
Like I said, that's why I say I like the pace that we're at. We take some wins, we take some losses. Even if we take an L from Connecticut Sun, I'm not too shook off of that either. Now, hopefully we won't, but even if we do, I'm not going to be shook off of it because, again,
we just can't
still learning.
Let the wins that we can't downplay a game because even we saw the Fever almost come up off of what was the last team? I think it was the Liberty or whoever they got close, how they had a couple close games. Even though these teams are at the bottom of the league.
Well, the Liberty blew them out. So it wasn't that. Their schedule is just trash. And they played a lot of back-to-backs where we don't. We get long stretches where we're practicing and we don't have. That's the benefit of us. So it's not a highly unlikely thing that we wouldn't win this. It's just that if we do lose this, then it's one of those things that you got to go in deep.
Well, and we'll see more than once too. So,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even after the visit, we just got to make the necessary adjustments and see what we're missing and see who we can play in our rotations that can effectively match up against these girls, and so.
We are officially in the Commissioner's Cup. They did change. They did change the way in which it is done. This year, it is strictly just in 2 weeks. So it started yesterday. So for 2 weeks straight, each conference. This is the only time that the conferences matter because in regular season and playoff division, it's just top 8 or something. So in the Commissioner's Cup, it's the top teams in each conference. So we've got 2 weeks straight where they're playing their teams, and we're going to go out. The Championship Cup will be played on June 25th, depending on who those teams are. Yeah. And of course, is the time for the players to get more money. They get a nice little cash bonus.
Yes,
they also get to give bonus to the charity or nonprofit organization of their choosing. So it's a time where I think everybody wants to step up. It's nice to see the step up happening earlier on in the season too, because you also got the Olympic break coming up next month. So it's quite the time. It is quite the time. They also announced a 3-on-3 team.
Yeah, they did.
They did. So Cameron Brink, Haley Van Lith, HVL, Brian Howard, and Sierra Burdick, who actually played with the Aces in the bubble in 2020.
Nice.
Hasn't been back in the league, I think, for the last 2 years or so. Hasn't played for the W. Has been playing overseas. So this will be our 3-on-3. Now remember, this is who the last Olympics, we won the gold in that. So
right.
Let's see if we go back to back to back.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine.
What's up, Chris? We want you on the show too soon. So
Yeah,
let us know. He says the championship will be played here in Vegas. Yes. Yeah. The Commissioners Cup will be here on Saturday, June 25th. So plan accordingly. Thank you. We also have to give one last shout out to Diana Taurasi. Listen, much as you may or may not like her as a person or a player,
girl's balling and she's got all-time scores. She's like the
40. I'm sorry, at 41. 40.
Yeah.
At 40, at 35, I couldn't even. At 30, I couldn't. Listen, 41 and has the most. And she had 31 points. So that's the most, that's the oldest player with over 30 points in WNBA.
NBA history.
Hear me out.
Yep.
And NBA history.
Yeah.
So just take notes for those. Because
there's no 40-year-olds playing right now. LeBron's trying to be the first.
I mean,
he's 41.
We'll see. Yeah. That's just wild. That's so wild to me. It's just like, I can't even wrap my head around it. All right, we're going back to the NBA finals starting tomorrow. Mo, I know you don't want to, I know you're going to be rooting for the Mavs. Do you feel that this is going to be a 5-gamer, a 6-gamer, 7-gamer?
I feel like it's 5-gamer. I'm with Adrian. I got Dallas Mavericks in 5.
Okay. Do you think the change of Porzingis coming back is going to affect it anymore as far as him being able to play? Okay.
I do not. Dallas is the team that can beat Boston. They have thoroughly convinced me of that. I slept on Dallas in the regular season. Wasn't watching too many Dallas Mavericks games. Not for nothing. They are who they are. Their bench is deep. They got a young stud on there called PJ Washington, who's balling out of it. Like if Luka and Kyrie get jammed up, they have reserves. They have options. There's no kind of any kind of thing that's going to set them back. Like they are set up for this win. And
is Luka we saw Luka having some knee issues towards the end of last series, kind of just bracing it more, seeming to limp.
I mean, they got time. They've been resting. They got time. This is nothing.
I would hope,
He's still the lead shooter. He's still going to do his thing. The 25-year-old, I'm not going to count him out. This is a grown young kid that's doing it. And they've just been playing like.
And he looks like he's in his 40s already, isn't it?
I know. He looks like an old man, but he is 25 and he is doing his darn thing. But I mean, they're the type of team that you cannot count them out. They are also late game closers. That's what's very scary about this team. They could be town, but they are clutch at the end when it's all said and done. And I don't see that so much with Boston. And it's going to come down to coaching too. Jonathan, F. Boston, always. Yeah, Boston going to sit on 17 like the Lakers.
Chris says it's going to be the Celtics who are going to win, which he hates to say as a Pistons fan. I understand and would love to see UNLV's Derrick Jones Jr. get a ring.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get a ring too, but on a different team. I don't want to see him with that. And again, Boston is not winning a championship until they play the Lakers for the 18. That's just what it's going to be.
So you don't count it? If they did win
advancements until it's a Lakers and Boston series. We are bringing it to that.
So you're officially tied at 18 until you two can go back together.
That is the battle. We're at 17 right now. The battle for 18 is what it is, and it's going to be Lakers and Celtics. I just personally feel in my gut that Dallas is this team.
Okay.
If Tyrese Halliburton hadn't gone down, honestly, I don't know what the landscape would have looked at that Boston series because they had their number to a certain degree. I don't know what it would have looked like.
Right.
Dallas,
it might have lasted
dialed
longer,
in.
That's for sure.
And I'm not even a fan of Dallas. I care not with Dallas. I really don't even want to push for them like that. But it's Boston, so I will never cheer for Boston. But I will say, if I was non-biased, I'm looking at both of these teams, and I'm just seeing Dallas as a more elite team that can take them.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping for Dallas. I don't know if it's going to be a 5 round. I'm gonna say it. We might get our full admissions.
I don't know. I got to see the game tomorrow. I told people I would bet first half with the Boston Celtics being up because they're a first half team. I would place the money line bet on Boston being up for the first half. Second half is a different outcome. I mean, if they beat them in their house 2 games in a row, then you could call this over. That's what I see. But I think it will split. I think they will steal one in Boston. I think they could Boston could possibly steal one in Dallas. But I don't see it going longer to 7 or 6. I think 5 is the number.
Okay. Miss Bondi
Hey, shout
says
out to Miss
6.
Bondi. She's
Dallas
got
is
6.
6.
Yeah, I get it, but
Okay.
I'm with Dallas. I mean, I've got him in 5. I'm that confident.
And Chris said they got to ban the beer from the locker room. That was the funniest thing.
Well, Michael Finley is well respected and also top-notch legend in the league himself, and he's also senior vice president of operations for the Mavericks. And the problem with that is branding and his camera work, and he wasn't supposed to have that beer in his hand, so he's just protecting his players. That was a good look. You know,
keep the beer inside the locker room where the live cameras
are. You can't have it out there with the cameras. That's all. You know, and Finley's about his business, but he is that whole entire core organization of upper management they have are all of people that are Black, and you love to see it. So it's like you've got that kind of leadership behind you and all of that. I'm with it. So I'm rolling with Dallas.
You mentioned you need to have your Lakers and the Celtics get back into the championship together for the next championship to count, or for that championship to count. Of course, we know the buzz right now. JJ Redick is the front runner for that coaching job.
He's the only runner for that coaching job. What are you talking about right now? He's the only runner.
It sounds like it. It sounds like they've already ran through it. The thing is that he can't comment on it. They can't. He's not going to comment until after the NBA season is over. They can't make a hire until after the NBA season is over. He's got to make it. He's got to do analysis work for the finals. There's not much that can be done or said right now. So, but it looks like everything's pointing in that direction.
Yeah, that is the only direction. I mean, he's the only candidate. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, well, you know,
it's going to be a tough thing to play with LeBron and his son. Or whatever that future holds with that, you know.
If LeBron stays with his son, maybe his son gets drafted elsewhere and he decides to leave too. I don't know. That's wild.
They're only looking at LA market, so I don't know. But good luck, JJ. That's all I can say. Good luck.
All right, a couple NFL news. Listen, I don't know. I would just want to see this. The Indianapolis Colts turned their Lucasfilm oil-filled stadium into an Olympic-sized pool for the Olympic trials in swimming. Apparently, this is like years in the making, but the way they did it just seems so unreal that this was the inside of a football stadium.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen the construction on that and how that played out.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I don't know. There is one
Olympic size. What's the?
It's Olympic size. It's for the Olympic trials, so that's what
I
they're
know.
having
But what's
the Olympic
the feet
trials
on that? Like, how long is that?
Isn't it like 50 yards? I think it's like 50 yards. What length?
Yeah.
That's what any swimmers in the chat, let us know what an Olympic size.
Yeah, it's a huge pool. It looks like I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a lot. You also have Justin Jefferson cashing in, now the highest paid
wide receiver, big old payday.
And you also got him along with his LSU counterpart as the highest paid QB. So LSU fans out there, running amok.
They are.
Hey, congrats to him. The Vikings, and not for nothing, his agent, whoever that is, got him out of the $140 million extension. He's guaranteed $110 million, $88 million due at signing.
Yeah.
What? Okay, payday.
Yeah. Well, not for nothing. It's Minnesota. They're not gonna let this guy go anyway. They was gonna do whatever they could to keep Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's great. Also in the headlines, Tua is a slimmer self. I didn't
even recognize him. He looked a lot younger. I was like, wait a minute, this thing
younger, no beard, his hair is out, he's slimmer.
That's Tua?
A couple of his teammates were talking about the Ozempic Tua. He only lost about like 15 pounds, but apparently, that was a hot topic today. Like, is the weight loss or him being slimmer, or is that going to be helpful for him moving around? But also, is it going to make him more prone to injury and blah, 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 blah. So it's interesting. He looks completely different. And
it's probably the opposite. He was a big guy and was prone to injury. Maybe him being slimmer, he'll be quicker on his feet, scramble out of those pockets and won't get hit.
Well, and they said that he was like fat for the play, or he was not in good shape.
I mean,
I'm
all for it. Let's see what Miami does this season.
Yeah, Chris, thank you for that. So R.I.P. Larry Allen, gone way too young at 52. That was some sad.
Yeah, very sad.
Yep, 2 different people for
They
sure.
are.
For Tua.
I mean, I didn't recognize him. I thought he was some like when they said that was Tua. I was like, wait
I
a
thought it
minute.
was one of his brothers. Maybe it was like his
I
younger
thought
brother.
it was
That's
some rookie that was walking on. I didn't even read the caption. I was like, is this one of the rookies from Miami? Like, hell.
Hey, listen, Christian McCaffrey also signs an extension.
Yeah, he did.
You know, whether you like the Cowboys or not, hello, Micah Parsons and CJ Stroud, you know, they were burning up social media with their different commentaries. Well, they have a Bleacher Report YouTube segments, and one of them is the duo does Tokyo. And they have them sumo wrestling against these sumo wrestlers, and it was quite hilarious. So if you go head out to Bleacher Report's YouTube, you can look up the Micah and CJ Stroud show, which was very entertaining. College football also announced their playoff schedule, which basically leaves you no days off for between college football and NFL, because from December 19th until the national championship on January 20th, you basically have football every single day, minus I think it's like 3 or 4 days in between.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
everybody get
so
their strength up. Everybody get their strength up. Get your money up and your strength up, because the betting is going to be insane.
It's going to be intense. We've got, you know, a larger amount of college teams entering the playoffs, so it's going to be wild.
Yeah,
it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. Another thing we have to show you. So that Major League Baseball to Saturday. Wait, what day is the 8th?
Yeah, Saturday.
Friday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Friday and Saturday had the London series with the New York Mets and the Phillies. And I do have a slight video for this. Is how they turned London Field, where the Major League Soccer. Right. I forgot is it Manchester that plays there?
Manchester United. Yeah.
Look how they turned this soccer field into a Major League Baseball park.
Wow.
I'm just in awe.
Interesting.
Wild. That is wild. Which brings up my next, and then shout out, of course, to Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani.
Definitely glad. He said that he was glad to get this out of the way and to close this chapter. So we're excited for him. Dodgers announced that he's off the investigation is over. That's basically it. And then for everybody else, Major League Baseball's All-Star voting has started. So you can go ahead and start voting for your favorite All-Star. And listen, there's a couple things I needed to ask, just because we've been talking about a lot of sports, but I saw this post that made me think, and I want to know your opinion. You get front row seats to what sporting event are you going to? Game 7 NBA Finals, a World Cup Finals, Super Bowl, Olympics, Men's Final Four, WNBA Finals, Stanley Cup, World Series, Women's Final Four, top boxing match, Wimbledon, or college football?
Going to Wimbledon.
Wimbledon? Okay. I think I'm doing like the World Cup. I'm not,
World Cup would be good too.
World Cup. And, I did go to the college football playoffs. That was dope. I don't think being front row helps at all, because you can't see all the action. I just think the fandom of a World Cup final is crazy. Super Bowl if it was my team, but or a Stanley Cup, because I still want to be on a glass.
Pick one, Melissa. Pick one, please. Pick one.
World Cup. I want them all. That's all. I want them all.
I've just never been to a tennis match, and I think Wimbledon will be the ticket for me to be there, just to say, hey, I was at Wimbledon and this is what it was, and to see like the men's and the women's compete. It's a different experience. Okay. I get some insight with World Cup soccer. We get kind of a taste of what that looks like going into, watching the lights and having the chants and all of that. So you get a taste of that. But something I've never experienced before, being Wimbledon, would be that option for me.
All right. Girl power today. This young lady here, she's 14, mind you. Her name is Arissa True. She is from, I believe it's Australia. And she is the first female skater to land a 900 degree spin land. This is like has never been done by any female skater. She's the first one at 14. She was also the first female to land. I think it was a 720 at the X Games or something last year. And people compare her to basically the next Tony Hawk. Like she is the
and she's known for Tony Hawk shout her out.
Yep. And then she's known for her pink helmets and pink knee pads. So I'm not a big X Games person, but I seriously will be watching for this girl because I went through her Instagram and talk about phenomenal. And the fact that you're only 14 like blows my mind away. At 14, I was happy to like be going to the mall by myself. So that's
I'm just happy that this is even a thing, from the BMX riders to the skateboarders and stuff, that X Games even exists, that they actually were allowed a space to compete, because it's always been a thing. When you watched it back in the 80s, the thrashing movies, and you had the magazine and everybody wanted to skate and everybody wanted to skateboard. Like
crazy.
I love that I'm seeing all of this. That this developed.
Kristen born in 2010, right?
Yeah,
like,
we are ancient.
2010 was like yesterday. I'm sorry. What do you mean?
that part.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And just a couple notes on Pride before we let you go. Of course, we had to show love for Mariah Carey, who was launching her new Pride merch out recently. You know, Maria's always down for Pride, so I think make sure to check that. But there was a great
Andre,
video.
Get your stuff. Get your stuff.
We gotta get Andre on for the month too.
Yeah, Andre, get your stuff.
Hey, listen. So Arizona's kicker Trey McBride. So he was raised by same-sex parents, and he has a fan who was also raised by same-sex parents, and he actually gave him a jersey and he had a little interaction with him.
It says Forge. It says Forge, follow your dreams. The world is yours.
Don't make me cry.
That's so nice.
I'm gonna cry.
No, that's really sweet.
This year for my tackle football season, I'm changing my number to 85.
Good on you.
Yeah, I haven't taken off the jersey ever since last night. My goal is to play in the NFL, be a tight end like you, keep the number 85.
How cute!
Like he was a diehard Bills fan because Trey got traded. He's now a Cardinals fan, and
love it.
Just heartwarming and amazing. So make sure you keep open hearts this month and all the time. It's Pride, and we celebrate all those that celebrate Pride as well. And again, get out and vote. Primary elections are on Tuesday. Early voting closes on Friday. Get out there, be a voice, be a change. Don't say it doesn't matter, because it does. So
it does.
Get out there and make things happen. Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's all we got for this show. So shout out to everybody that's been in the comments. We appreciate it. Shout out to Adrian Hernandez. That was on our guest tonight. We really appreciate him. Make sure to check him out. We had a great show. It was a good time.
We did. It was a good time.
Good times. And shout out to the Aces. Shout out to Asia. Big time. Big time. Big time. All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all next week, okay? Have a good one. Have a wonderful week. And try and stay cool, as it's 110 degrees tomorrow.